I'm going to start with this one. When you hear the word AI, what comes into your mind first? Just a quick one. Every time when you say AI, people have different expectation of the term AI. I'm not sure whether you can respond in the chat. Let me see. I don't see any chat. Oh, I can't.
There is a chat. Yeah, this chat.
Wait, let me see. Somehow I cannot see chat.
On the top,
Maybe
right top.
Maybe because
the
you
setting.
are
Yeah.
enrolled
Please
as
share.
guest.
Oh, okay. Okay, then never mind. Just maybe just shout out or something, or maybe just a quick response. I think this is just a warming up to kind of get everyone's idea on this on AI, because I think based on my experience conducting similar workshop in other universities and also in my own university, for Center for Graduate Studies, there's always this misconception about AI actually, because we always assume AI is just all this, generative AI like ChatGPT and all that. But AI can be more than that. And in the field of AI, I think we all know that it's not just about ChatGPT. All right, that's my point. So just a very, very brief evolution, just to let everyone know, because sometimes we get confused with what's happening now. AI has been there for quite some time, not some time, decades. It's just that in recent years, uh, the way I see it is because of the advancement in technology, because we have faster internet, we have, faster processors, chips, and all this. So because of this advancement in technology, the way we run all this algorithm and everything becomes more advanced, so we can do more. So what we are seeing now is the influx of all these new tools. You can have so many tools now. I think you barely can catch up if you go to huggingface.com. Huggingface.com is like a repository of all these AI tools. You see thousands of them now, not just ChatGPT or even the popular one like everyone is talking about from China, like DeepSeek, Kimi, and all this. They are more than that actually, but they are all based on the same principle, which is, to gather things and then to generate output based on your so-called prompt or instruction. Prompting is just a fancy word for instruction. The way I see it, we always say prompt. Basically, we're just giving instruction, all right, to tell the large language model to do something for us. Uh, my experience told me that a lot of students, even graduate students, they have a problem to understand the basic process of research before they even jump to AI. Because if you don't really understand the whole reasoning process of how to come up with, let's say, research problem, let's say to decide certain methodology, if that foundation is not there and you jump to AI immediately, hoping that AI will do it for you, well, it can, but then it will not be meaningful to you. So in the end, or at the end of the day, you will just copy everything and pretend that it's yours because you don't understand what it is in the first place. So it's always good to have a clear idea of what you want to do first, which I will guide you in this quick session, about 2 hours. Have a bit of your own reading, your own understanding first, or what you want to do. Then you come in with the AI tool to help you. So treat it like an assistant, because I've seen a lot of students, they just immediately jump to AI and just give them a short prompt or short instruction, hoping that it will write the whole chapter for them. I think that's a bit misuse, I would say. Misuse as in not in terms of using it to write, but it's in terms of the way you see research, because research is not just about churning out words. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that research is all about writing words. It's about the whole process, understanding how to make sure that your data collection is okay, how the analysis is okay, the review that you have done is good enough for you to cover the problem and all that. Then you come in to ask AI to help you to structure, maybe to write a better sentences and all that. But you have to have a clear idea of what you have first, right? So I think we know that with generative AI, it's all about this, because the way you prompt, we always say this I think those in computer science will know, or those in IT will always agree with this: garbage in, garbage out. If you prompt wrongly, if you don't give the right instruction, then you will get garbage, right? Or it really depends on the input data that you have. And if the LLM were trained using weak data, then the quality of output is equally weak. I think we understand this. Meaning to say, if you just ask AI to produce paragraph or sentences directly for you, when you are seeing it in front of you, this is something for you to think about. A lot of people, when they see it, they think it's unique to them. But when you start to ask everyone to give the same prompt, if you don't believe me, you can ask like 10, even 10 or 20 people to just put the same prompt, right? You will see similarity across this output because the LLM depends a lot on the, on the pertinent data, the prevalent data and all that, and then we'll just write out for you, and you will see traces of similarity. I think lecturers will know this because when you start marking, for example, a lot of students forget that we get hundreds of scripts, right? Or sometimes when you submit assignment, 50, 60 copies. When you start to read them, you will see the identical ideas, identical sentences, and all that. Even for you, you think it's unique. All right. So my point is, you can still use AI tools to help you to improve or enhance your writing, but don't use it blindly, because at the end of the day, you want to be proud of the research writing. You want to be proud of your thesis, and to be proud of the thesis means it's most of the thinkings come from you. You just use AI to help you to kind of structure the sentences and all that. That should be the focus or the mindset that we have when we have AI to help us. All right. I mean, that's how I see it. So I hope everyone is on the same page. We don't want to have this idea where, can you give me one software where I can just one prompt and then the whole chapter is out? I always get this kind of question from students. I say, if I can give you that tool, you don't need to get your PhD or master's because the AI can just do everything for you, right? Use it wisely to enhance your thinking, your intelligence, not to replace your own intelligence. I think that's the key. Don't be a person who just use it to just replace everything. You don't even want to think about your own problem. I mean, the research problem, or you don't even want to think about your research objective. You just clearly use whatever is given to you. That's not the right way to go when it comes to using AI to help us. All right. This one I don't have to go through again. It's the same thing, but there are many, many AI tools. We are not going to cover everything today. 2 hours to cover all will not be sufficient. Like I said, if you go to all this repository and all that, you will see thousands of this tool, but they are all, I can tell you, 70%, 60 to 70% come from the same LLM, which is this one. Because OpenAI, like it or not, still hold on to the biggest, kind of like, I don't know, you wouldn't say like the biggest in terms of size, but the biggest use of API. A lot of companies are actually paying ChatGPT or OpenAI to use the API, meaning to say, if you use Quillbot, for example, it will put at the end that they are using GPT. If you go for consensus, they also use GPT. You go to Scispace, they also use GPT. So a lot of tools are actually relying on the same LLM with the different branding because they want to make money from you. All right. So, but they brand it differently, so-called different, but they are all based on the same LLM. I think that's critical to understand. So if you were to compare all this output, because this is also part of my research, I love to compare output from different platform. Even when I compare ChatGPT and Gemini.
Dr. Chua? Mr.
Yeah.
Chua? Okay.
Can okay.
You are
Sir,
muted
you are
again.
muted. Okay.
I didn't mute. Somebody mute me, or let me see.
Somebody's muting you? Okay, no. You muted again.
I did not press anything, so it's quite weird.
Yeah, that's
check.
why. Let me check.
Yeah, I did not press anything.
Okay, sure.
Maybe AI get angry.
Yeah, I get angry.
Yeah. Let me see. Is it okay?
Yeah, you're okay.
Yes, now
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Could be the connection. All right. I actually don't really like Teams. There's the honest because I got a lot of bad experience with Teams. Sometimes you got kicked out. Sometimes your whole camera doesn't work. But never mind. Okay. As I was saying, all are relying on the same LLM. My point.
You were talking about comparison between ChatGPT and Gemini.
Yeah. So when we compare the output between ChatGPT and Gemini, the output from Gemini is still pretty bad because still unable to search real time unless you pay for the advanced version. So people are still relying on ChatGPT, which we will look at it later on. You will see how ChatGPT is better in terms of the output because it search real time. You can allow it to go and search the real time materials and all that, and then it start to summarize. A competitor for ChatGPT is actually the one that exists before it, which is also an OpenAI employee, sorry, Perplexity. So Perplexity existed before ChatGPT, but Perplexity uses ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and also Claude AI, this one. So Perplexity combined 3 LLM to come up with this platform. You will see the quality of it, and then you will realize that Perplexity is better in terms of searching for real-time articles, but it may not be that good in terms of writing variety. The variety is still ChatGPT is better. Gemini is the worst when it comes to variety in writing, which is why if students are using Gemini, it's quite easily detectable because everyone seems to be identical in terms of the sentence structure, right? But the rest of this, all these tools like imaging and all that, I will not cover because that's not the focus for today, just for you to explore. There are also commercial one like Site, which I don't encourage you to pay because this is also misleading. They always use these articles and then they put the citation there, but when you click on it, it's actually wrong, right? So all these people are trying to make money. So, you have to be more careful. So I do the dirty job for you by telling you which one you should subscribe and which one you should not, because I try it out and then I'll kind of give you a summary of all the tools. All right. So you don't have to waste your time. But why are we using AI in the first place? I think we love this, the first one, because it helps us to write out something. I have a lot of students from different countries as well, from China, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, and all that. So they rely a lot on this to generate, to generate out content. So I always tell them, before you even generate, you explain to me first. What do you want to find? What do you want to write? And all that. Then only you go and use AI to write out. If what AI is writing and what you tell me or what you told me is different, then you have to refine, meaning what you understand and what AI is producing is not matching. Right. So that's one strategy to also check whether you really need AI in the first place. Sometimes you don't need it, right? Sometimes you don't need it, but because you don't have your own, our problem is we are not confident with our own writing. That's the problem that I see. We always judge our writing as bad or low quality. So in the end, we rely on AI to kind of inflate all the sentences, make it bombastic and all that. It sounds very intelligent. Actually, when you read the essence of it, it's still similar to what you have written in a simpler form, right? Things like that. But AI also helps us to accelerate discovery because we can search faster. This one is really, really undeniable. I myself use it a lot to search now because you imagine you have thousands or millions of articles out there daily and all that. You don't really have time to read every single article. So you can use some AI tools to help you to at least go find the most important one for you and then, accelerate the process. You can also do a bit of enhanced data analysis. I say a bit of because two reasons. One, we don't want to give our data out. A lot of students get excited with all these tools. They keep on uploading their data without realizing that they are actually selling their data for free, giving the data for free. Because, you spend so much time to go and collect your data. You spend so much money to go and, to do all this questionnaire and all that to collect data, and then you freely give it to all this platform. I think you can only do that if you are really confident that your data is already used and kind of like you have done your analysis and everything, then you can freely upload. But sometimes, you're contributing to the pool of data without realizing that you're just giving it for free. All right. Personalized support. I think this is something that a lot of students miss out. Because for you to meet your supervisor all the time, to nudge them all the time, it will be hard for some. Because your supervisors are also lecturers and researchers. They may not have time to kind of provide you feedback and all that. So one way that you can use AI is to also upload your draft, your writing especially. You can write it first. I always encourage my students to write out your draft first and then upload to AI. Instead of asking it to write, ask it to criticize or to review. Like what are the things that you can improve? Like when you want to write for journal paper as well, before you send out to the reviewers or before the paper is sent out to reviewers, you can ask AI to review your paper first. What are the loopholes? What are the gap that you overlook, or maybe there's something that you can improve first before you send out for publication. Because use that as a first layer of checking, before you pass it to your supervisor for further checking. I think that is something that we miss out. We always rely on AI to just give out the content without thinking that AI can be our good assistant or support system, right? Because, doing a PhD or doing a master's is a lonely journey at times. Your friends may not be with you all the time to kind of support you. So you might as well, ask AI for some suggestion, for some guidance. Like you want to do this, you have your objective, you can ask AI. If I want to do this using quantitative method, what are the possible ways? So AI will suggest. You don't have to take it blindly, but at least it suggests, and then you can go deeper, ask more question, prompt it, prompt further, not prompt, meaning ask further, ask more, whether you can go further. So I'll show you some sample in a bit, but these are the 4 key areas that I think we can really maximize AI for research and also academic writing in general. But we also have these ethical challenges. The question that we ask is, if you use AI to write, how do you bypass AI detector? I don't believe in AI detector, because after all, AI is trained using human natural language. We use our language, we give it to AI, and then AI regurgitate some of the sentences that we have, or garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. It's trained using our language. So if you detect, it's actually detecting human sentences after all, right? The only thing that I think it's wrong to do is when you use it, but you don't admit that you use it. You get what I mean? It's like there's nothing wrong in using AI to write. It's only wrong when you don't admit it. You keep on claiming that it's your original writing when you are using AI to help you. So your job is just to be honest, to disclose that you have used AI to improve your writing, which is nothing wrong, because you're not copying blindly. You are just using it to guide you, to support you. You still put citation and everything. You just use it to support you. The only downside is when you just copy everything, and then like this one, you just copy everything. You just use all the hypothetical output without really checking. That's the wrong thing to do. All right. Also be careful of bias. Some of the content can be biased. Right now it's better. In fact, if you check the progress, the biasness has reduced. Bias as in, whenever you ask something to all this AI, it tends to be biased to the data it was trained. Like if you ask ChatGPT, most of the answer will be kind of like American based, because they use a lot of American data and also American words and writing and all that. So what happened is, when you ask it in certain contexts like Malaysia or wherever, it sounds like Malaysia, but when you go and read it, it's actually just changing some words to Malaysia. So it's not really Malaysia. All right. So have to be more careful on that. But now it's better because they are getting more and more data. It's just that you still have to be more careful, all right, on all this. But what I want to kind of promote to all students today, and to academics in general or whatever, it's always good to disclose. Same thing with my students. You just have to disclose. Like for example, in your disclosure, you can say all the writing or all the data is collected by you, and you have done analysis using certain software and all that. But in terms of the writing part, you have used AI tools like ChatGPT to help you to enhance the writing process. Full stop. So you do a early disclosure that you're using AI only for the writing enhancement, not for you know, not for the analysis or whatever. So you do a quick disclosure. I think it's no harm. Nobody will blame you for doing that anyway. Some people will probably say that you are lacking behind if you don't use it. Okay, but don't use it 100% in a way like just copy blindly. Okay. So a quick one. I will not go through all these steps, but I will just show you, because I will share the slides with you later on. I think I will just share to Buana you, and then she will distribute. So I always encourage the usage of AI tool for ideation first, right? Don't go straight to writing, like really want to write immediately. If you are not sure what you're going to do, you can do this style. I call it IREC. So you initialize the context first. You need to tell ChatGPT or all these AI tools, whatever you want to use, ChatGPT, for example, the context. Where are you going to do it? Are you going to do it in Malaysia? If you are doing it in Malaysia, who are your target? Are you targeting primary school students, or are you targeting corporate figures or whatever? You have to be clear of your context first. Give your context. Not too long, not too lengthy. It would be good to have keywords, because too long sometimes will narrow down your output, and the output will be very, very specialized, and you cannot get more ideas, because the process is to get more ideas here. Then you can ask ChatGPT or all these tools to review the gap. All right. Review the gap means to go through some resources, articles, and see some gap that you can check on. You can also evaluate the ideas. If you have the ideas already, you have your ideas, your topic already, then you can skip 1 and R. Just jump straight to E. Give your topics, give your draft, your abstract, or whatever you have, the summary that you have, ask it to evaluate. And like the recent update to ChatGPT give you very, very good suggestion. It will tell you, like, for example, what you're doing is probably outdated, or maybe many people have done it. You might as well look at something else and all that. So that's something that you can do as well. Evaluate your ideas, right? Or, if you have the ideas, you just want to create the risk problem statement or whatever, just create it. All right. So these are some strategies that you can use. I always believe in the funnel technique, meaning to say, whatever tool you use, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, try to go broad first, right? Try to go broad first, and then keep on prompting it, or keep on giving your questions or whatever, slowly to funnel to your topic that you want. That means you have to have a lot of open-ended question. Don't stop after giving one prompt. Like, give me 3 ideas and then you stop. You can prompt further. Like, what if I focus on this? What about this? Can you refer to the latest article and justify whether this topic is still okay? So you go broad first, and then you slowly go specific. Now, after a few rounds of doing this, if you realize the output is similar, so let's say you ask it now, and then after a couple of hours, or maybe tomorrow, you ask it again, it start to give you similar ideas, then it's a red flag. Red flag meaning the topic that you are trying to do, ChatGPT or all these tools may not have enough information, or may not have enough data, meaning you have to prompt asking it to search broader. Or the best is, which I always encourage, download the articles that you have read or you have found using all the other software. I'm pretty sure you have learned other software as well. Download all the articles that you have read, maybe the recent one in the past 5 years, upload it, then ask it to to summarize or to synthesize for you. So at least you are trying to give all these AI tools some idea that there are broader things to look at. Because the moment you ask something and then it keeps giving you the same thing, then the language model is limited. The garbage part just now, where the garbage is still the same. So that means no matter how hard you try to prompt, whatever you use, DeepSeek or whatever, if it gives you the similar idea all the time, it's a red flag. Red flag meaning you need to give more data to it so that it can decide better. Or you just use your own analysis or synthesis. You just ask it to improve the writing. That can be done as well. My point is, do not rely solely on the output given by all these tools, because once it goes similar, you will see identical things. All right, that's always the downside of this. Okay, so these are some guidance, some prompts. If you have your objective already, you can say, based on this research objective, then you give the objective, suggest other topics that I can investigate further. Meaning this objective can come from other articles that you have read. They have done this, or they have done some questions, or they have answered some question. Then you can ask AI to suggest other topics or other thing to look at. Or you can say, if I were to focus on this objective, give the objective, what could be the possible topic that I can study? This is for those who have no idea yet what to do. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you have your idea already. You know what you want to do, but you can ask AI to kind of evaluate your idea, whether it's really good to go further, or maybe a lot of people have done it. this is the part I told you that a lot of students they miss. They always ask ChatGPT to produce the suggestion, but they don't evaluate, right? So you can always give your ideas or give your objective, ask all these tools to evaluate whether it's okay or not okay. Or of course you can always ask your supervisor later on, but at least you have the initial, the initial stage of checking. All right. Any question or something? Okay, Noah, because I hear some. Okay, then if you don't want to use RQ, this is also another strategy. You can always use title, or you can get the abstract. All right, this is for those who are really struggling to find topics. This is something that I always ask my student to do as well. You can just copy the abstract, ask it to you know to look for potential topic for research, because you want to do it on a similar domain or similar field, but you want to see whether there are other possible one. Okay, all right. But like I said earlier, if you ask this question and whatever tool you use keep on giving you the same suggestion, right? Keep giving you the same suggestion, then you know that perhaps you have to read further, because the suggestion means if it's the same, that means that it has no not enough information or not enough data to help you. Okay, all right. Just for everyone's information as well, the 4.0 or 4 Omni version of GPT and all this, they were largely trained using news articles from all these big databases like New York Times and all that. They were largely trained using newspaper writing. So you can see why whenever you ask some topics or some research related one, they give you very surface topics or output, because it's all from the newspapers and magazine. But the current one, the current updated version, the 4.5 version, I think the free users are not using it yet. It's only for the plus user. They go and dig out all the public domain research. So they go and open access papers and all that. Now they are training it using that. So you can see better output in the latest version of GPT, because it's trained using more research related papers. All right. So I will go hands on later on. Yeah. This is just a quick one. You can evaluate. All right. Evaluate the ideas. Just give some specific topic, I ask it to evaluate. The value that I think AI helps us a lot is to open up our minds on some areas that we never thought of. Like this one. Can I apply, you learn Lucius method. Can I apply, let's say, you want to use, what method do you want to use? Let's say observation. Can I apply observation for this study on AI on education or something? Or if you use mixed method, then you can ask it to suggest, can I, and all that. Sometimes it will say no, sometimes it will say yes, sometimes it will give you the good or the good and bad of both sides, right? So at least you use it to evaluate. Okay. Or also, what are the variables that I should focus on for the suggested topic? You are like having a helper helping you to give you suggestion. Think about all the variable that you want to do. Okay. Now, up to this point, you can see that I am not guiding you to use it to just churn out writing immediately. I'm using it to make your idea that you have now, or the topic that you have now, to have a better evaluation. Because sometimes when we are writing our research, in Malay, we call it short sendiri lah. We think our research is the best, our topic is the best. We really want to do our topic without really thinking out of the, our whatever we have read or our little box. AI kind of help us to open up a bit, because it can give you more information on whatever you want to do. So that helps a lot. In fact, for my case, every time I want to do a research, like or a research paper, I have my data. Let's say I ask ChatGPT, I said, I'm going to do this based on my data. These are I will not upload my data, but I'll just say these are the data that I have collected, and then this is what I do. Do you think it's okay? And then sometimes ChatGPT will give me new ideas. Why don't you look at this? Why don't you focus on this, which is more meaningful? Then when you look at it, yeah, why not? You get what I mean? So use it to evaluate your own thinking and to support your your thinking process, rather than just ask it to do everything for you. right? So up to this point, I think you will see that I'm not asking it to write for me. I'm asking it to evaluate what I'm doing now, my thinking. I mean, when I say my here is your own thinking and all that, rather than using it to replace altogether, right? Problem statement. If you have a lot of students actually have problem writing research problem statement. They have the idea, they know the gap, but they just couldn't write it out. So you can always say write the problem statement for this topic according to the articulated scope. After you have decided, after you have seen all the suggestion, and then you have decided and you have read up something, then you can just say write the problem statement. Da, 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 da. Because in a good research, you have to have a good problem statement first. Then you can backtrack to write the background, to write your objective, whatever. But the research problem has to be clear because that is the essence of your research in the first place. That's the beginning, actually, right? Because you're trying to solve a problem. Then only you check out the background, and then you decide the objective, and then you decide the method, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Of course, some people will go the reverse way because in order for you to come up with the research problem, you also have to do a lot of review, right? But with AI now, I think the review part is fasten in a way, like make it faster. So you can quickly decide the problem statement and then do the rest to systematically. Okay, because the problem statement, once this is wrong or it's not really novel or it has been overdone and all that, then you know where I'm heading, meaning the research may not be of good value. Okay, because of the problem statement and all that. Okay, any question for this part before I go and show you the demo? For some. No, yeah? No question? Okay. I'm going to go for some sample here. Right. I'm going to go two in one in a way. While we are talking about this, we can also take a look at the writing quality. Okay. This is a typical strategy that student will always go because they already decided on the topic, let's say impact on AI on education, which is still very broad. And then they will ask, write a problem statement for this topic. And then immediately, ChatGPT will blah, 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 blah out. If you ask again, let's say I ask again, even though the sentences may sound different, the idea can be similar. This is what I meant by the LLM may not be trained with enough information about the topic. It will kind of churn out something similar. All right. And you will see the trend now. Let me just show you in a separate tab. Can I? Just to show you the difference. Okay. You see the first sentence. The integration of AI into education system has accelerated rapidly in recent years. It's actually the same thing to say. The rapid advancement, similar, right? Different way of writing, different way of churning out the thing, but the idea is the same. This is what I meant by if you are not careful, you think it's unique to you, but if your friend is doing on the similar topic, you will see, hey, how come mine and your friend, why are we the same? You get what I mean? Once you say this, it's a red flag telling you that ChatGPT or all these tools may not have enough information about this topic for it to write a good problem statement. You get what I mean? So if you are using a plus version, this is a plus version. Never mind. The free version can be used anyway, but then you with limitation. But I'll just demonstrate to you first what you can do. This button, search the web button. Because now even the free user, you can also search the web. You can always ask it to search first, right? Let's say search, let's say maybe 5 articles about AI in education from, if you want to add the word reputable, you can, or you can say Scopus Journal, actually. ChatGPT understands that. But let's say I just put this first, just for you to see that if you enable the search, which is also available for free users, it's just that we have a bit of limitation. It will try to list out all the articles first. So if you click on this, you can verify whether it's true, because sometimes it comes from, like Wikipedia and all this, then you may not want to refer to it. But if you click on ResearchGate and you verify whether it's the same, all right, the authors are not really clear, but at least you have the idea here. You get the file right, okay? And then this one is from Science Direct. Check whether it's true. Also unspecified is fine, but at least you get, what I mean here is you get the resources listed out for you. Network is, having problem with me, but then you can see the sources here actually. Of course, you take out all the Wikipedia and, all this unnecessary magazine type because you can go for journal. Now, you can see the limitation here. Even though you say reputable journal, then, it's still searching all the magazine. Now, if you type more specific one, okay, by the way, this one also depends on the server capacity, because if you follow the same prompt, you will get different results, all right? So let me just put here, let's say Scopus, or if you want to be clearer, you can say Open Access Journal. This is ChatGPT first, because I just want to show you that you don't have to pay for all the, all the other software, because ChatGPT is quite good in helping you already. So this one, if you click on this, because you mentioned Scopus, it will really depend on Scopus journal, like all this Science Direct journal, and also Springer Opened. All right. You see this one, and then you can compare with the details. If the details are all okay, then you can start using it because it helps you to search quite fast, right? I don't have to go to Google, type the topic, and go one by one. Of course, I can add more variable here. I can also specify, like, for example, from which year to which year, and then it will summarize. I only ask for 5. You can ask for more, but not too many in one go. Go slowly, all right? Or you can ask by topic. So what I mean here is use it to enable this search. Then once this one, let's say you can try this because it really depends on right now somehow I think the network is having problem. I don't know about you, but somehow I kept getting this today. Summarize these 5 in let's say I want to be ambitious. I want it to summarize in 1 paragraph. This is a bit ambitious. Okay. This is a bit ambitious to ask it to summarize all this 5. It's still searching all these 5. Okay. And then it start to write it out in 1 paragraph, which is Crampton and Burke, which is this one. Right. And then you have Bond et al., which is supposedly West Bond. Maybe I had to click to check. You have to click the check, because sometimes this one, it can be misleading. All right. So even though no matter how hard you prompt it, it will still sometimes give you the wrong citation. But you get the style of writing. If writing is your concern, this is some a strategy for you to learn how to summarize, let's say, 5 articles about the same topic in 1 paragraph. Of course, this is a bit ambitious. 5 articles in 1 paragraph is a bit more ambitious. So you can do 1 by 1 actually, 1 article, 1 paragraph, and then it can help you to do better. Okay, you know what I mean. This one is automatically detecting APA style. You can always ask for other style. Because I think this one reads from my database, my previous chat, because I always use APA in this particular ChatGPT, so it remembers that. Okay, so in your case, you can always change. But my point is like this: whenever you ask for something, ask it to search first. Okay, don't just if you prompt it without asking it to search or without enabling the search, it will just dig out from the old database or whatever it has. Like I said just now, if it's from the old database or from the existing LLM, you will see similarity across the same output, or idea, the same idea, but different way of writing. So you have to be more careful on that. Okay, all right. So that is one way to use it to kind of find or to improve the way you ask question in ChatGPT. Now, if I were to ask, because I was saying how bad Gemini was, you can go to Gemini. I'm using advanced, but I think the flash version is for all. You can try ask the same thing. You will see it's a bit low quality, because it's really depending on whatever it has. So if you ask it to search, search 5 articles about this topic. For example, if you ask it to search, right, then it will search still, right? And then only you ask it to summarize. That will be better. It's just that what I realized over over all these years of trying this, or for the last 2 years trying Gemini, every time you prompt something, like if I want to prompt here, let's say summarize this article in one paragraph. Let's say if you do this, it usually gives up. It will not give you. You see, it's very lazy type lah. I always say Gemini is like a lazy type of student where when you ask it to summarize, it will just summarize the basic for you, right? But ChatGPT is more like a hardworking one, will do more for you. So Gemini is still lacking in that sense. But I think it's just a matter of time, all right? Just a matter of time. After all, what you need to use this tool is to find all these articles. At least you can see some articles are given to you, and you can verify first. But again, these are all, you see, not journal articles, right? Some are, some are not. So in terms of searching for articles, I think it saves a lot of time. It's just that you have to be more careful on verifying all these articles, yeah, because you don't want it to be like the hallucinated part, like the fake ones. So be more careful. But if you ask my honest opinion between these two, Gemini and ChatGPT, in terms of the output for research writing and all that, or more academic type of writing, I would go for ChatGPT. All right. The second alternative for academic writing would be Claude AI rather than Gemini, which I will not go into detail, but I will just show you because we don't have enough time to cover every single tool. All these tools are similar in terms of prompting. It's just different in terms of the interface, all right? And of course, the brain behind it. So Claude AI is also another good tool for you to try if you want to write more academically. Then you can try Claude AI. It's free. Unfortunately, I think I can't remember how many times, maybe less than 10 times per day. So you can, if you use the latest one, 3.7 Sonnet, you can see here our most intelligent model yet. If you ask it to write, at least it writes better than Gemini. So let's say I put here, I'm just demonstrating to you, yeah. So you can explore it later on. After all, you will see similarity in terms of the start. This is the problem with LLM, because that's how they are trained with the same set of research and data. So you can see why it's quite similar in terms of the starting, but at least you get more, right? You get more as compared to Gemini. Okay. All right. So this is something for you to compare in terms of the quality of the output. Okay. Now, as I was saying, this is still at the ideation process and research writing part, but I think the one that you are probably more interested in is the literature review part, which is I have demonstrated to you just now. You can use it to search based on your RO or based on your research question, and then ask it to find the articles. But I do agree with a lot of people that a lot of scholars and all that can't rely on it 100% because it may still miss out some crucial articles. So I think you can use it as a first draft, and occasionally you still have to go to all these database like Web of Science or Scopus database to find the latest article, because this latest article may not be searchable by all these AI tools, so you miss out on the latest trend. But you can use it as your initial listing of review or articles that you can find first. Okay, or you can use other tools, which I will demonstrate in a bit. Somebody raised their hand, right? Or any question or?
Sir, I would like to answer.
Okay, sure.
Okay. The very important thing in developing a research paper, and
Yeah.
also the hardest part for a student, is finding a novelty. Do you have a suggestion for utilization of artificial intelligence to find a strong novelty, sir?
Yeah, it's actually, I just covered that earlier, but it's here actually. Novelty here means gap. So which is why I think it's always good to use AI, to use this strategy just now, this strategy just now. What you can do is I encourage you to have maybe a list of articles that you have read in recent years, because novelty means it has to be recent. So compare the recent years, and then from it, like this one, ask for new potential topic. You can add the word new or novelty. You can add the word there, or you can even ask it to evaluate your ideas. So if I want to do this, will it be novel or will it be considered as new, right? But again, this AI tool, they are not capable of up to this point. Whatever AI tool that you're talking about, it's up to this point. It's not able to crawl all the academic papers, all right, because of the copyright issue. The reason why they are not crawling all this academic journal is because of copyright issue. So they only crawl the open access one, which is why I said sometimes books, things that which is copyrightable and all that, you don't really get it in this AI. They can't find it, all right. So in terms of novelty, AI can only give you up to a certain extent. Like it will tell you that maybe you should look at that and all that. It cannot really suggest like a real novelty. All right. That one really depends a lot on the quality of review that you have done. But based on my experience, like I said just now, it's always good for you to find the article, the recent one first, and then upload it to whatever tools you have, ChatGPT or whatever, and then ask it to go through all the articles and suggest an area which is new, all right, or gap, or a new area for you to look into. Okay. Yeah, so I mean that's the best you can do with AI at the moment. It will not be able to really suggest. Same thing that if you're using consensus, a lot of people oversell this. I don't really like selling it, but then this tool, maybe you can this consensus. Maybe I just show you. A lot of people oversell this tool because it's not free. If you have heard of consensus AI, a lot of people are using this so-called to find novelty. It's actually very surface, right? Unless you pay for the premium one. Even the premium one, I have tested it. It's not really like novel. The quality is still the same because this one is using GPT. It's the same thing that you can get from ChatGPT. So you don't really have to, you don't really have to pay for this. What it does is like, let's say you do something like AI in education, right? Let's say you want to do this topic, but you are not sure whether it's novel or not. Is it new or not? What consensus is doing is the interface. It will tell you you know, this so-called summary here, up here, right? You will see this, future direction. So this is the part that a lot of people say that this is the area that is new, right? Because consensus has summarized it and then tells you that you might want to focus on this because there is a lack of study in this area. But if you do the same style in ChatGPT, upload all the resources and then ask it to go through and find the novelty, it will probably give you the same thing. All right. How good is the synthesis to find the novelty? I leave it to you and your supervisor, because my experience, even with my students, the novelty is questionable. Meaning to say, which it's better for us to decide after you have gone through some reading, and then you can decide. But at least it saves your time to narrow down some scope, right? It narrows down the scope for you to dig, so you don't have to find too broad, because it has kind of tell you that you should focus on this, for example. But the novelty wise, if you search, you will see some similar studies done that maybe the context is a bit different, and and then you can go from there. All right. Yeah. So in terms of evaluating how good is the novelty, or how good is the gap, I think I still think human judgment is better. AI can suggest or can narrow down the scope, but you have to decide whether you think it's novel or not. Okay. All right. I hope I answered that. What's the name? Just Shabani, Mr. Shabani. Okay.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, sir.
Yeah. So
Maybe one question, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. By the way, I'm not an English native speaker, right? And then
No worries.
no, if I paste my writing and make it to GPT, and then I give prompt, fix the grammar and elaborate with your style, writing style, and
Mhm.
then I check it to the Turnitin, and
Mhm.
it's still categorized as plagiarism or not?
It depends because if you're talking about plagiarism, there are two things that they're being. I don't know about Uni 10, but in my university we do not detect the AI part, meaning we disable it because the AI detection is so misleading. Sometimes it's really causing a lot of problem. We only look at the similarity index. So similarity index is checked across published work, meaning if that work is not published or the sentence that you use is not traceable in other published work, like being published elsewhere, then you will not be marked as copying, right? But again, a lot of people don't get the way Turnitin works. Turnitin detect similar sentences or similar phrases from published work if you copy it without citation, without proper quotation and all that. So my advice to a lot of students, if you want to keep the idea from the author, you have to put the citation there. And what you can do is, if you really want to keep that sentence because you think that that's the best way to explain it, you just use the quotation mark. Just quote it nicely with the page number and the citation. Then you are safe because you are doing proper citation and quotation. You cannot just copy the sentence without any citation or without any acknowledgement. So that is wrong. That's considered as plagiarism. Plagiarism is only plagiarism if it's not acknowledged or if you are not giving citation. Okay, which is why I think in most of your writing, even research papers and all that, even though the sentence sounds the same, um, uh, Turnitin will not detect it because it's not published elsewhere. There are some paraphrase words and all that. As long as you give citation, the problem will arise if I copy this, for example, and somehow this sentence is from this article, then this whole sentence will be highlighted because it's the exact sentence that is published. If the work is not published, right? If the work is not published, then it will not be detected. You get what I mean? So, which is why I think a lot of people they would rather go for like double translation. I can get the idea, you write in Malay or you write in your own native language like Chinese or whatever, and then you translate. Because the moment you translate, the sentences will be different. And when the sentences is different, all you have to do is just to give the citation and then you are kind of safe. But again, you still have to enhance the flow of writing and everything later. Okay, so plagiarism is all about copying others' work without proper citation or without proper quotation. So be clear about that. In terms of AI detector, AI, which I will cover later, but then when since you are talking about this, we can jump to that. AI detector it's not checking where you copy from. Yeah, this is also another misleading. I have seen a lot of people do video and then but they don't understand it. No one can actually tell you where you copy from. Let's say I copy this from consensus, for example. If I put it in my thing, the detector will not tell you where it comes from. It will just tell you that the sentences that you have copied, like this, seems like AI, and then it will highlight. That one is AI detector. You have to be clear, yeah. So even if you copy from ChatGPT and then you put it into your writing, and then the scanner scan it, it will say that this is AI. It just tells you that that sentence is similar to AI, but it will not tell you that it's from ChatGPT. If you don't believe me, you can scan. It will not tell you the source. Only the plagiarism will tell you the sources, because the sources are published. How on earth the AI detector can tell you where it comes from? Because these are never published, for example, right? Unless somebody copy this and publish it somewhere, and then somehow ChatGPT is still using the same sentence, then it can be flagged as plagiarism. So AI detector is checking the sentence writing style, right? Not really on the sources. So if you don't believe me, you can upload your paper. If your university has turned it in with AI detector, get the report will not tell you the sources. It will not tell you like, okay, this come from ChatGPT, this come from DeepSeek, this come from Gemini. It will not tell you that because it cannot be done unless that thing is done. Everything is published, because whatever you chat here, it's only you yourself, right? Just to be clear on this, since this is the common question that I get as well from student. They don't see the difference between AI detection and plagiarism. Plagiarism is plagiarism if whatever you are doing is detected from published work. published papers, books, or is, you don't put citation and all that, then it will be highlighted. Okay, all right. So just to be clear on that. So where was I just now? Let's go to writing, since we are talking about writing just now. But very quickly just now, I was talking about ChatGPT. One tool that I think we can also use is Perplexity. We overlook Perplexity a lot because if you don't want to pay for if you don't want to pay for Claude, if you don't want to pay for ChatGPT for the Plus users, you can always use Perplexity. Okay, Perplexity AI. If you ask me if I want to recommend a tool for students who are, maybe not capable of subscribing to Plus or whatever, Perplexity is a good alternative because it allows you to do pro and deep research for free daily. I think 3 times at least, but at least you get the chance to use the pro version, not like other tools that you don't get the chance to use the pro version. Because you have to pay. This one you don't have to pay. This one I'm using it for free for many many months already. So just to let you know, Perplexity uses 3 engine or 3 LLM. All right, it uses GPT by OpenAI. It uses DeepSeek because they just added the DeepSeek reasoning model inside. It also uses Claude AI just now, so it combines 3 in 1. All right, 3 in 1. You don't see this. It will not tell you, but you will see the basic buttons and all that. This research is for the reasoning one. But let's say I want to do this. Sorry, I was trying to type in the chat, but you can see, right, the Perplexity. Impact of AI in education. For example, I want to do this topic. What I like the most about Perplexity is it allows us to limit our search to only scholarly work. This one. Okay, when you click this button, you can just enable academic, remove the web one. So that it will not search all the Wikipedia or whatever into the mess, right? It will only search from academic papers. And the main database that it's using is Semantic Scholar. And if you know Semantic Scholar, it crawls all the open access papers. Like, Semantic Scholar, right? Semantic Scholar, this website. This website. It's like like a repository of all open access papers. A lot, right? So you don't have to pay for this. You just search from Perplexity. A large portion of the papers are from there. So let's say I want to do this. I type impact of AI in education. I just enable academic. I don't want the rest. I don't want social like Facebook, Reddit, or I don't want those. I don't want the web. I just enable academic and then I search. What I like the most about Perplexity is this feature because it will list out all the articles on top, right? You will see all the sources here. Like I said, it will crawl from Semantic Scholar, but if you click the paper comes from different database, right? Like this one, I think this one comes from, I don't know, but you can see here, query.net, but it's from different sources. So click on this, you can verify the source. This is Scopus Journal. I'm not sure whether it's still Scopus or not, but you can verify, right? But at least you get only academic papers. And you see your answer, right? The impact of artificial intelligence in education in multiple, and these are the key areas. So it will give you the key summary, but this is still point form. If you want it to write, then you can say expand in paragraph. The keywords is the word expand in paragraph, not explain, expand. This keyword expand, all right, and then it will expand it for you. Of course, you don't copy blindly because you still have to go back to the citation and all this to put it in, all right? So if you click on the source, you will go to the source, you will know which article it was referring to, and then you do the proper citation. If you want Perplexity to do citation, can, but not 100% accurate, right? Not 100% accurate. Same thing with other LLM as well. Even for ChatGPT, sometimes the formatting is a bit off. But at least half of your job is done because you use it to search all these articles. All right. So you can verify the sources. And what you can do as well, if you're doing this as a practice for research, writing and all that, like I said, you have to be open to disclosure and be more transparent. Be more transparent. What you can do is if you do your drafting here, let's say you do your drafting here, you ask, let's say, okay, maybe I asked this question just now. The question asked by Shabani just now. What is the current novel area for me to study in relation to AI in education, for example? Let's say if you ask this question, what is the current novel, novel mean new area? And then it will say these are all the novel area. So you can see the suggestions are quite generic because it doesn't really know your scope. So you can go further. What I like about Perplexity as well is you will have this. People also ask. So you have some suggested question that you can follow up, right? You can have some question for you to follow up as well. Okay, so then after you have done this, as I was saying, if you are doing a drafting here, as a postgraduate student, for example, it's always good to share with a supervisor. This is what I encourage my students to do as well. All you have to do is just click share, all right? Copy the link, and then share the link to your supervisor. At least your supervisor can also do a quick glance through of what you have done or what you have found to help you to cross-check maybe, okay, this article is not good because it's not, it's not part of this good database or whatever. So you do this kind of accountable cross-checking and transparent usage of AI rather than keeping it to yourself, hoping that your supervisor would not know that you're using this. So be more open of using it. In fact, your supervisor will know anyway. So it's just that be more open, and then your supervisor can also assist you. And then your supervisor will say, maybe you should look at this. Maybe this area is really nice. You should focus on this, and then we can go deeper on this topic, for example. Or maybe you should take out this article because the article may not be that good. So you have that kind of like counter checking or verification of the sources as well. Okay, these are some tips for you to use AI wiser. All right. Perplexity also allows you to use Pro version. You can see the Pro one, 3 enhanced query remaining today, meaning every day you get to ask 3 times for free. Because if you pay, it will be 20 USD per month, and plus tax 8%, then that will be about 20 plus USD. If you convert it to Ringgit Malaysia, that will be 100 already. So let's say I ask this, let's say I want to do this. This is what I told you just now, the funnel technique. Go broad and then start to direct it, funnel it. So let's say I want to do this, AI-driven integration security in education. Can you explain more on it, but within the context of Malaysia? Let's say you want to do Malaysia now. So you direct all these two to narrow down, right? If you enable the Pro one, like what I'm doing now, you can see the Pro one will be more hardworking. It will read more for you. So the Pro Perplexity will go and find more and then try to summarize it for you, whether you can do this further. AI-driven integration security in digital education, but within the context of Malaysia. So you will try to go, and you can see the sources are more now. Just now up here, you have only 8, right? You have only 8. Now you have 29 sources within this scope, right? Then you will summarize. Right, in Malaysia, landscape reflect dynamic interplay. So you can say this is a Malaysian focus one. So a pilot at a Malaysian university, a pilot test, all right? A pilot test. So you can see some suggestion now. And then it gives you some data. 2025 study, limited technical expertise. If you click on this, maybe you can get some idea where it comes from, all right? And then you can click on all this link to verify. So at least you have a quick overview of whether your topic is novel or not, or up to date or not, based on the the search results here. Okay, so the Perplexity gives you free usage for 3 times. I think more than enough, because the Pro one really lists out the sources for you. Right? So if you don't like the point form, just say write in paragraph. Then it will write in paragraph for you. If you don't like the point, the bulleted points. So you can see now it's rewriting it in sentences, in paragraph format. Of course, without the citation, your job is to check back on all this, clickable link, and then put in the citation, right? You can force it to do it, but I have I have kind of done this many times, and then I realized it's not accurate. Like in the end, you still have to fix it. Might as well you do it. All right. Like this one, the articles come from this number, this one, number 18, for example. Then you can just click on it and then get the citation detail. If it's APA, just use this. So it becomes Isaac et al. So you go here and then you put in Isaac et al. Say that if you want to cross check with the citation and all that. Okay. All right. And you just see just now, if you are not sure, let's see if we highlight this, right? Then you can check sources. Okay. Then it will check for you whether there's a sources to support whatever is written there. So you will check through whether there's a citation for this. Of course, it's there because it's it's listed above just now. All right. Not sure why it's a bit slower today, but you can check. That's what I meant. Right? It's checking all the 29 sources. It will take some time, but I think what you can do is always to refer to the link just now. All right. It's a bit slower, so I don't want to wait, but then it's here. All right. You can always click on this and then verify. But if you really have the patience to wait, you can always highlight this part, for example, and then just check sources. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's Perplexity, which is really, really useful. I put it in my slides already, so later on you can go through the slides. Sorry if I jump from the demo to the slide, because I think it's easier to demonstrate rather than to go through the slide. But this is some sample here, like find 3 recent journal articles about critical thinking practices among teachers in China and summarize it in one paragraph with citation and link to each article. So you can ask it to have this kind of prompt as well. But like I said, this part, the citation part, may not be 100% accurate, so you still have to check. Because, what I mean is the article is okay, the authors is okay. It's just that the citation, the AI sometimes get mixed up. Which one is the last name, which one is the surname, and or which one is the first name. So they mix up. So you still have to do your own checking, okay, for the citation part. This prompt, the same prompt, you can also use it for ChatGPT and also Gemini if you want to, but I'm just showing it for Perplexity, yeah. All right. This is also, can be done. Critically summarize these two in 2 paragraphs within proper. Let's say I copy this. I go back to my Perplexity just now. Where's my Perplexity? This is not Perplexity. This one. Okay. So let's say I just, in 2 paragraphs with proper citation. So I just copy the same prompt I put in my slide just now. Critically summarize this in 2 paragraphs with proper citation in APA. So you will see the moment it put like this, right? It means it's not reading the citation accurately, but it is telling you that you have to put the citation there. All right. This one also no citation given. So like I said just now, citation wise is still problematic across all LLM, whether you're using ChatGPT or whatever tools you're using. Citation in terms of the format is still problematic. So you still have to come in to check, yeah. Because it will do like this. But at least you know where to put in the names and the year, because it's all here. It's all listed here. You just have to click it and then do a bit of work to summarize. Okay. All right. Yeah, of course there are some tools. I'm pretty sure you have seen some tools just now. When it comes to citation, I think ChatGPT can do a better job in terms of giving the name, but there are also paid tools like Consensus Cite just now, but it's also not 100% accurate. Sometimes I always tell the student, you're paying to get something which is already accessible in Perplexity and ChatGPT, but you're paying more to so-called get the citation, which you can do on your own actually. So you don't have to pay for all the Consensus or Cite or whatever. Just use the free one. Your job is just do a bit of work to put in a citation. After all, it has given you everything, right? You just have to go through the article, verify it, read it, and then get the name and the year. I find this is better because at least you have actually gone through the article. You don't blindly, copy. So by forcing you to do this, sometimes it helps because you will go through the articles and then check the name and the year. All right. So anyway, that's one way for you to try. Now for Perplexity, you can also export it as PDF, Markdown or DOC. So you don't have to copy and paste. You just click this and then DOCX. It will be downloaded in DOCX formats like this. So you get your, everything in Word document format. So then you can do the fixing or whatever. The Perplexity logo will always be embedded, so you can always delete, all right? Or you can clear formatting and then fine tune it later. I'm not asking you to copy and paste, yeah. I'm just telling you that sometimes you want to save it for your own keeping before you do the fine tuning. So this is one way. In ChatGPT, you can also do it. Let's see, but I don't think they have the button now. If you put share, they will not have that function yet. Let me see, because the share is still the link part. So you have to give the prompt. It's a bit more work. Let's say you want to have this. It's a bit more work. Download as the OCX. I don't see the button yet, right? Maybe I miss it. Yeah, no, not yet. So you will have to put this download as the OCX. Yeah, now it's because I cut the conversation just now. Okay, let me go back here. Write a paragraph on AI and education. Once you cut off the conversation just now, you got a bit confused because it doesn't go in a flow, right? So today ChatGPT is a bit haywire. I don't know why. You can see it's a bit slow, not as fast as before. So let's say you want this. They have this feature before this, but then they have copy but no more. But yeah, you can put download as DOCX. See whether it allows, because it really depends on the server as well, whether it understands this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't for ChatGPT. But for Perplexity, very simple, right? Just click the export, you get it directly. Yeah, let it rest because ChatGPT is kind of slow these few days. Because of the image generation, everyone is using it to generate image for the the new update. For Perplexity is easy. Yeah, export. Or you want it to be red, just click. So yeah, try out Perplexity if you have not used it. The free version allows you to I can't remember how many times, but you don't have to pay actually, because the drafting, the searching is enough. You can always do it daily or maybe after a couple of hours, and you can try it again. All right. Yeah, so I think that's still running. Not sure what happened to ChatGPT today. All right, so next is last one maybe for literature review. There are many more, but I will not go through all. Last one for literature review, yeah, is Scispace. All right, I'm pretty sure some of you have used this. Scispace also uses ChatGPT or GPT-4, but what I like is the interface. Scispace has a nicer interface, and the database has grown very, very rapidly, meaning the quality of the papers that you get here are quite, up to par. Like, if you want to do something, let's say AI in education, I'm using the same topic, yeah, just to demonstrate. You can choose standard, you can choose high quality, you can choose deep review. I just want to demonstrate deep review for you first. Just them, all right? It will take a bit of time. Okay. She's thinking. So I have enhanced the query. So you can sometimes Scispace doesn't really like your prompt because your prompt is too simple. All right. Then it will suggest this. What are the implication of AI in education? If you believe this is your focus, and then you click submit now. If you don't like that one, then you can type out the your own prompt. Then you can see it's doing more work now, up to 3 minutes, and then you can see the done here. Now this deep review is good if you really want to go deep. Yeah. Unfortunately, the free version, I think there's a limit to this. The free.
Sorry, doctor.
Yeah.
If it is premium version, then maybe probably they will provide the deep version.
Yeah, this is free. This is free, by the way. This is free. This is free. What I mean here is the deep review for free users. There's a limit, like how many times you can use per day. But of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
single times they will provide.
Yeah, if you pay, then of course you can use as many time as you like. But what I find is the standard one is sufficient actually. Yeah, the standard one is sufficient. It's just that I just want to show you how deep is the deep one. And it's still working here. Just to let you know, the deep review is using the GPT for Omni, the O1 and O2 reasoning model. So they are Scispace is relying on ChatGPT as well, the same engine. It's just that they put it in a nicer interface. The interface is nicer, right? Because the ChatGPT looks like very simple, right? If you look at the where is this on my screen? Yeah, something went wrong now. ChatGPT style is like this, right? Very boring chat style, and sometimes you don't really like the way it's presented to you. But in Scispace, if you have used it, you will see, nicer interface. Wait for it. I'll show you how it looks like. So after you go for top 20 papers, you will get the summary like this, and you will see the citation given to you directly. Okay, your job is of course to verify all this citation. If I click on this, then you will go to the paper. All right, if I click on the next one, I will also go to the paper. What I like the most about Scispace is this table, the matrix down here. All right, so you can compare. If you don't want insight, you can remove this column. Let's say you want to compare method use. You want to know which method was used in every paper. You want to know the results. You just click the result, and it will show you the results. And maybe you want to know the research gap mentioned by the paper. So it gives you the overview of every paper here in a table format. Okay, so if you scroll down, it feels like you only have 20 papers, right? Actually, no, you can load more papers. You can keep on loading more papers and more papers. If you are doing literature review for a specific topic like this, let's say you're doing a literature review on this, in a single sitting like this, you can finish your literature review for this part. Because, all you have to do is just need to verify the sources. Make sure that it's really accurate or reliable, because sometimes it may not be reliable, so you can remove them. If it's not reliable, you just take it and then delete, so it will remove it from the comparison. You just keep the papers that you want it to compare. All right, that's one way. Or if you have found your own papers, like not your papers, I mean your own search, you go and search on all these databases, you already found it, you upload it to your library. You can upload it to your library. Like now, I have some papers here. I just upload. All the papers that you upload, you can also do the similar comparison. You get what I mean? So you don't have to rely on the search. You can also upload your own papers. Actually, this is a bit I did mention to the founder, because I kind of know the founder, because I said this is a bit infringing copyright. Sometimes when we upload our copyrighted papers, right? In a way, we are giving it to Scispace. All right. So, but if it's open access, I think it's okay. If it's not open access, you try your best to keep it to yourself rather than you upload. But what I mean here is, even for your uploaded papers, like you can see here, all these are uploaded papers. You can compare quickly. And these are, because I tested with my own papers, so I kind of know whether it's accurate or not. And surprisingly, they're really, really accurate. I mean, maybe not 100%, but up there between 80 to 90%. So it saves a lot of time to see this comparison, as compared to, you go through one by one, and then you screen through all the articles and to decide which one you want. There are some additional features that I don't think you need it. If you click on chat, for example, you don't need this, because this is ChatGPT, right? This is ChatGPT. So you can just say, like, what is the gap in this paper? You can upload this on ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT the same thing, because it's going to be based on this. You are like chatting with a PDF, right? You can see the summary here of the paper. right? And if you want to translate, Scispace has multilingual support. You can change it to other languages first, or ask in that different languages, and then it will kind of summarize it for you. I'm not saying that this is 100% like, you know, really, really accurate, but at least it's up there. So it saves quite a lot of your time actually to go through some of this. So two things: use it to search and compare. That is searching, the front part. Meaning use it to search existing paper that you can find, or you get your own papers from somewhere else that you downloaded, you upload it here. You can upload it here, and then you do the comparison. Now there's a catch. Free users cannot export this table. Let's say you have a nice comparison, you want to export it, right? Because in literature review, we usually have that literature review matrix, right? If you click on this, let's say you want to export it as Excel, you will have to pay. They're very clever because they know that you need this. But I think a way to bypass this is just to copy on your own if you want to. All right, just copy and paste. Go to your own table. All right. But if you are unwilling to do it one by one, you can just pay if you want to. All right. Payment is about $12, which is quite reasonable if you want to invest. But if you are not willing to invest, then you don't have to. You just use the free one. Sometimes I don't really need the table. I just want to see the summary. So you can just copy the key things. All right. So that is using Scispace to really improve your searching. Just now I was doing deep review. You can also go for standard and high quality. High quality and deep review, you can see you will ask you to pay now. You can only use once, but standard one is okay to me. Right? Standard one is sufficient. You don't need the deep review or the high quality one, because the standard one, it's going to do the same thing actually. You know, the papers here, it's going to be the same. All right, and you can still do like load more papers, you know, and go further. Okay, all right. The only thing is, of course, you cannot really download this. So you have to do it. You can also take PDF if you want only the one that you can download. Then it will list only papers that you can download as PDF. Maybe this is good if you're doing literature review, like systematic literature review using Prisma method. But then again, usually we will go for database article first. Then you can upload it here if you want to. You can also go for open access or top papers. Okay. I think for Scispace, this is what I like the most because it really summarizes it for you and helps you to search a lot better. There are some additional things that they have introduced over the years, but I don't encourage you to use all this because they are not really accurate. Even the citation generator is also quite bad. You can put your, you know, like this one, it will try to format it in APA format. Sometimes okay, sometimes not okay, but at least you have a citation generator here. You can see. I don't think you need this because you have other tools like Mendeley and all those. Those tools can help you. But if you need some help, you can come to Scispace, go to citation generator, type in the URL or give the DOI, right? Give the title or whatever or URL. Then it will extract the information and then do the citation here. But you still have to check, yeah, because it's not 100% accurate. Okay. It also has extract data. If you have certain paper that you want to extract data, this one can only use once, I think. You will extract the data from the papers. You can also use it to detect AI, which is not accurate. You can use it to detect, but only once, I think. How many times? I can't remember every day. You can see here. I trusted it, minimal human. But the whole thing here, right, was written by hand. You know what I mean? The whole thing here was written by hand, and then I just transfer it into soft copy, and then I try to check the accuracy. You can see 75%, but it was written by hand by a human in an exam. So you can see how inaccurate the AI detector is. Not just this one. Any AI detector has problem. Maybe someone need to do a proper research on this to really compare the accuracy of all the detector. And then you will see the disparity. Same text given to different detector will give you different results, right? Some say it's AI, some say it's partially AI, some say it's completely human, some say it's completely AI. you know, that kind of thing, because it's just detecting the writing style, not really the. It will never tell you the source. You can see there's no source listed. It will not say this sentence come from ChatGPT, this one come from Jasper. It will not tell you that. It will just say that it's AI uses probability. The keyword here is probability. All right. So if it's probable, then you cannot use it as a fixed benchmark to penalize or to stop people from writing in such a way, right? In such a way because of the inaccurate part. So these are some other things you can try. Some other thing that you don't need is PDF to video. I don't think you need this, but you can explore Scispace. It's a very wonderful. It's a wonderful tool to use for free. You don't have to pay. If you are willing to pay, it's up to you. But free version is more than enough, right? The rest I put it in a slide. You can try it later. These are just free stuff like Insightful can also do journal search, but it's a bit more technical look. Let me just show you maybe this one before because we are running out of time. If you go to Insightful, you can. This is free. Just search any topic. Let's say AI in education. Insightful.xyz. It's like research connected papers, right? Or Research Rabbit, if you have heard of this. Find one paper and then you view the graph. It will show you the connected papers. All right, like no need to go next. Okay, it will show you the connected paper like this. Let me zoom out for you to see. Can I zoom out? No. Skip tour. Okay. If I zoom out, you will see like this. You know, this is like connected papers. You will see like this paper is, cited by this one. If it's Jonathan, is cited by that one. You know what I mean? So if you see the indicator here, all the papers are here. Right? All the papers are here. But these are not sorted by year. So you can change the year. Let's say 2020 to 2025 and filter. Then you will get a narrow search. Right? You'll get a narrower search. This is good if you are looking for snowballing strategy. One paper, find the related papers so that you don't have to struggle to find more articles for your literature review. From one paper, you can get access to multiple papers. So the darker the color, the more recent it is. The darker the color, the more recent it is. The lighter, then the long, it's older. And like this one, if you see this, these are highly connected, right? Meaning this paper is citing these people, but nobody's citing him yet because maybe it's new. But then you can see some, relationship from some papers like this. So at least you get access to all those papers because when you click on the paper, then you will see the connection to other papers as well. Snowballing effect, right? Snowballing strategy. One paper lead to one, and then you will get more papers. In one sitting, you can finish the search for the papers that you need for that section. That because in literature review you cannot review everything anyway. There's too many for you to review. You have to be more strategic in the way. The best tip for that is to go by citation count. Look for the highly cited one as well. Don't simply review papers which maybe lower count or maybe it's too recent, so lower count is fine. So you go by recency as well, meaning newer ones. But let's say you cited all these papers, but you don't cite this paper. Maybe, it's telling you that this paper is cited several hundred times and you are not including it in your literature review. Something is not right. Maybe because it's a review, so you don't want to review. But then again, usually there's a good justification to include certain papers into your review is to review those highly cited ones and also the recent ones to compare and contrast. Right, so you don't really just randomly pick some papers from different parts of the world, just mash it up. No, you have a reasoning why you are picking some papers for your literature review. Okay, all right. So that's literally the whole list is here. You have connected papers, you have litmaps, Trinka, Research Rabbit. Research Rabbit is free. This is fully free. The rest are paid. You can use it for free in a limited usage, but then Research Rabbit is free. Same thing like Insightful just now. This is fully free. All right. Yeah. Last one. Last one is this Notebook LM. Okay, I'm pretty sure you heard of this. Notebook LM. Have you anyone of you tried this?
Yes, sir.
Let me.
I think only Ayu has tried. She's the one who's guiding us.
Really? Okay. Notebook LM has changed a lot because when it was beta 2 years ago, it was quite bad because of this. Meaning it relies on Gemini. So now that Gemini has improved, so you can see the quality is better. Apart from doing podcasts and all that, even the podcast you can see the style is similar. So once you listen to once or twice, then you will probably get bored with it because the style is the same, right? But what I find it useful is if you go for Notebook LM, what I find it useful is if you have your collections of article, you can use it as your own research companion, not to create podcasts, but as a tool for you to learn more about your topic. Let's say if I create new now, if you go to Notebook LM, I'm using the Plus version. The Plus version allows me to upload up to 300 files per notebook. If you're using the free one, you can upload up to 50, which is more than enough actually. 50 is more than enough. I don't think you need that many. After all, Gemini is not that intelligent to read all the papers, right? Okay, so what do you do with this? If you're doing a literature review or even your chapters, you can always call it. What I can suggest to you is you can do chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So all the papers or all the articles that you will use for chapter 1, for example, you just upload in one notebook. Let's say I upload all this article now. Just upload all this, pretending that I'm uploading all this. All right. Then I'm going to call this chapter 1. Okay. It's like a notebook for your, for your own keeping. So so let's say all these articles are there. Gemini is more hardworking now. It will do the summary for you immediately. So what you can do is you can go one by one. You can tick one source first, right? Because it will select that one. Summarize this in one paragraph with key details about, let's say you wanted to know the method. Maybe you also want to know the results. So you guide Gemini a bit. Summarize this. You just tick one. Yeah, I'm ticking one. You can see all are here. Okay, and then you can also disable this and then tick again, and then you will select that one. So you can see do this for do the same for this article, right? Then you will summarize this one. Now, if you realize, even though you only summarize that article, this particular article, Notebook LM has this tendency to always find other sources. You can see here. It's also comparing it with other papers that you have. So even though you ask only one, it's telling you that there's a connection between this paper and that paper just now, or maybe this paper or whatever paper that you have downloaded. So you can easily detect where is this paper. So click on it, then it will find here. This is what I like the most about Notebook LM. You can detect where in the article that sentence comes from. So because Gemini is still bad in writing, right? Still bad in writing. I don't really encourage you to use the writing here. It's good for it for you to use the summary here, and then you can always copy this. Use other tools like ChatGPT or Perplexity to enhance the writing part. But at least you know that this is from this source, right? Or if you want to do the comparison of all, you just tick everything, all right, and summarize this in, let's say, 2 paragraphs. Because your Notebook rely only on the files that you upload, yeah, right? Only on the files that you upload or the sources that you add from YouTube, Google Slide, all this. I don't think you will need this because you're not going to do it for your research. Maybe you can use it for your teaching and learning or your own other usage. But for research, I think this will be sufficient. So you just upload and then it will summarize it for you. Okay. The current version is the formatting is still quite bad. You can see the font, and the user interface may not be that good. I hope that one day it will improve. I'm pretty sure they will improve. They have added a new one called Mind Map. So if you need this to have a mind map, you just click mind map. It will generate the mind map for you. This is a recent added feature. I'm not sure whether you have it. I think you have because it's available for the free one as well. So if you click on this, you will get your kind of like the mind map of all these branches of the key topics. Okay. Then you can see like student AI or whatever, and then you click on it, and then it will go to that source that you have found, and then start to summarize it for you. All right. And then the one that people use a lot, of course, is this one, which I don't really think you need it for your research. But in case you need to listen to your research when you are jogging or I don't know, when you're cooking, I don't think you want to listen to your research anyway. But if you have, let's say you have done your summary or whatever, you can generate a podcast. A podcast between two persons, talking about these papers, all this summary and all that. Again, the podcast, it's up to you to decide. If you want to use it, you can use it. You can download it and all that. But Notebook LM is like a personal notebook for that particular sources that you have. So this is only for one notebook. One notebook. If I go while it's generating, if I go here, you can see this chapter 1. I can create another one. And then I can go by, let's say I go by topic. Let's say I just upload some. I can always go by topic, chapter 2. But then let's say scope AI only. Sorry, this auto detecting. Chapter 2 scope is on AI. Because chapter 2 you have many parts, right? So, or maybe this one is theoretical framework. Theoretical. You just name it nicely so that you don't lose track. Right? So all the papers that you found about theoretical framework, you dump it here. Right? You just put everything here so that you don't lose it. One thing about it is like sometimes when you download, you don't know where to put. I know some of you use Mendeley and all that. Even Mendeley, sometimes you get lost because the folder is somewhere on your PC. So at least this one, you can always ask, like, if you are lost, like you uploaded, find the paper about impact on AI. So it will try to search your paper here that you have uploaded, which is, about this. At least you have a helper for you to check. Like you have an assistant, go and find for me. It's this one, you can see, right? So you know where is the thing from. You don't have to waste your time, uh, going through all the papers that you have downloaded. At least you have a notebook helper like this assistant for you to do it. Okay. And if you had to add notes and all that. Okay, another thing is for analysis or for data collection. This one, I think you decide whether you're gonna upload something personal or not, or maybe how to put it, if it's copyrightable material or something precious, or maybe something with personal data or whatever, you try not to upload. What I find useful is this one, actually, interview data. We interview a lot. Sometimes we do mixed method. We have to have qualitative interview and all that, right? And to transcribe one by one is going to take time. So what you can do is actually you can upload the recording here, right? And then Notebook LM can actually transcribe it for you. May not be 100% accurate, but the transcription will be given, right, in the languages that you're using. Then you can ask question based on this audio file. What can you summarize? So you have like a qualitative helper to analyze your audio recording as well. Again, be mindful. If you think your recording has a lot of personal data or whatever, you might want to cut first. Just upload some part. I don't know. Or after you upload, then you can remove. According to the term and condition for Notebook LM, it's a bit gray lah. Because they did say that because it's still experimental, whatever we upload here can be used by Google for so-called, experimental purposes. So I think if it's too personal or, if you think your data is too precious, then you might not want to upload it here. But then again, sometimes you use some tools to help you transcribe and all that. So I leave it to you for that part, right? And maybe you discuss with your supervisor whether it's okay or not to upload. Because if it's just normal conversation about your question and answer, I don't think it's anything private, because you just need to, get the like a thematic analysis of all the details. Okay, you can also do that in ChatGPT. The only thing about ChatGPT is when you upload the audio file, sometimes it will just read certain parts. But you can try to compare the difference. because now ChatGPT, the transcription is also quite good, right? The accuracy of it. Okay, so this is Notebook LM, very useful to use. Apart from the the podcast here, I don't know whether you can hear this. Maybe you can. So, okay, but if you have used this many times, you will see that this one has evolved with this interactive mode. What they have added is if you have the podcast generated like this, you can interject. So if you click this interactive mode, if you allow your microphone, right, you can be part of the participant. So if I were to click play audio,
You are not sharing the audio, sir.
oh, you can't listen, is it?
Tak dengar.
Let me see. Let me see.
Dia masa during the time you share your presentation, kena tick the satu box.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Include sound. Yes.
Yeah,
Let me
include
just
sound.
reshare the screen now. Can you hear this?
Putting this and really value what you have to
Yes.
say.
Right. Your input is a super important part of this for us.
We're definitely listening, and we really want you to chime in whenever you have
So
thoughts.
if I click,
Yeah, we were just about
if I
to dive
click
into
Oh,
join,
back to our listener. What's up?
so can you tell me more about AI in Malaysia? So you can interject, yeah?
That's a really interesting question.
It is. While our current sources don't specifically detail AI in Malaysia,
We can definitely talk about the broader trends in
You get me?
national.
So the current version is you can interject and then you can ask more questions based on their so-called podcasts. But this is I don't think this is really really you don't really need this unless if you're bored, you just want somebody to talk about your research, maybe you can. All right. But after a while, you will notice it's a similar pattern. The podcasts are all similar pattern. And the male and female voice you can't really change, right? So once you're happy, you can just download the audio, right? And then you can save it in your whatever phone, whatever. You can listen to it if you want to, all right? Somebody raised
Sir.
their hand. Yeah,
Yeah, I think someone want to ask question.
sure. We are almost the end anyway. Any question? No? No, okay.
I saw a hand just now.
Yeah, me too. Accidental. Okay, maybe accidental. Okay. Nobody else is done, yeah? So towards the end, I think to analyze and all that, I think you really have to treat it, with caution, not to get too excited and upload everything. Like I kept telling my student as well, you spend your time, your hard-earned money and all that to go and collect data, blah blah blah, and then you just give it for people through all these tools for free. So you have to be mindful. Maybe certain part of analysis you can, but take it out. Take the precious one, you just take it out first, or personal data, you can take it out first, and then you can try and ask it to analyze, right? Another tool that I don't really encourage, but I put it in my slide just in case you are interested. You can go to Site.ai. Yeah, Site.ai has this feature where you can write together and then you will put the citation. But my experiment with this tool shows that a lot of the citations are not accurate. It's put the citation there, but then when you click, it's talking about something else. So you have to be more careful, yeah. They make a lot of claims here. They claim that they are good in them, but if you really try for a while and you go through all the references being listed or citation given, it's very superficial, right? So you can try it out because it's quite cheap. A lot of students are paying for this because it's cheap. When I say cheap means is I can't remember, 9 USD, I think 9 or less than 10 USD. So a lot of students are subscribing to this, but when I check the sources, most of it are wrong, meaning the names and the citation, it doesn't match. All right, so the ending part of it I would not go through again because these are all the same thing. I just combine together with what we have mentioned earlier. The slide is just for you to go through on your own because I don't want you to miss out what I have said. So I put everything on the slides. One way to bypass, this is another question that I get a lot. How do you bypass AI text detector? Actually, it's very hard to bypass totally because of the way how it works. But what I can encourage you to do is the first step. Okay, the first step. I think you notice after a while, if you read a lot of text from AI, you will see they have this similar length or pattern across one paragraph. So what you can do is this one, what we call as burstiness. Burstiness means variation in sentence length and complexity. Try to diversify the sentences. I show you some sample just now. This one, this you can see this sentence. This is typical AI sentence. They love gerund and ing. You know, the continuous, present continuous, ing. Gerund, like basically they try to compartmentalize it into normalized verb. So you have personalizing, one, then you have automating, and then you have enhancing. You can see this pattern many times being repeated because they love to use ing. See? That they will write something, and then after that they will say ing. All right, and then you will have and then you know what I mean, the list of three. It's repeated. So this if you put this in AI detector, the AI detector will highly likely mark everything as AI, not because of it's detecting that you copy from ChatGPT, is detecting it as AI because of the way it's written. You get what I mean? You can see long sentence, super long sentence again, long sentence. Humans don't normally do not write like this all the way, right? We will have a variety of style. We don't have like a rigid format of writing the same style all the time. Like this, you know, you have long sentences, short sentences, and all that. If you really want to bypass it, but I think now we have normalized this. I have read so many journals recently as well. When you read at it, it sounds, you know, everyone sounds identical because it's the same ing style. If you don't believe me, go back to your writing. If you use from ChatGPT, you will see this pattern. All right, the obsessive use of ing, which is why in academic writing now, you are encouraged to write in active voice, right? Use more present tense, like researcher studies, and you know, if you want to report in the past, then use past tense, or if you want to use passive, you can use passive, but try to minimize ing. You can. I'm not saying that you should not use it, just that try to minimize so that you doesn't sound too AI. That's all you can do actually. About the words and everything, I think now you don't have to bother about it because everyone seems to be okay with that. You know, all the common words is quite popular now, so I don't think you have to be too concerned about this. The concerning part is when every sentence is long, and then when you read it, you know that this is not your sentence because everything is all long all the way. So use more active voice when you're reporting some action which is done, you know, like for your study, then maybe with a bit of passive, right? But not ing all the way. Yeah, this is what I meant. If you have the enable thing, if you have turn it in and you enable the AI writing part, it will never tell you the source. It will just tell you that these sentences highly likely sounds like AI. So you can see here 75%. Okay, so when you click and you don't get the source. Unlike the similarity index, when you click on it, you will know where is the source, and you can compare. Why my sentence is the same as other people's sentences? Then I can paraphrase or what, right? Okay. Last bit, I think the analysis bit, like I said, I don't really encourage. But if you want, you can do this. I put it in a slide, yeah. But I think it's more accurate in the plus user. Free user will have some limitation on this. You can upload your data and then ask it to analyze. I can quickly demonstrate because we're running out of time. Let me just quickly do this. Let's say I upload a sample dummy data. This is a dummy sample data. So you can just upload. Do not be too quick to ask it to analyze. Uh, just upload the data and then just let it go through the data first. So you can see it's reading the whole data set. All right. Don't ask it to do anything yet. Just let it try to, try to understand the whole thing first. It's still analyzing. Okay. Then first thing you need to do is to check all this, whether it's correctly read. Meaning, if you upload your data set and ChatGPT cannot understand or something missing here or something wrong there, you have to kind of tell him first or tell ChatGPT first. Like this data set is about blah blah blah. Before you go further, or else it will be giving you the wrong the wrong data. Okay. So right now, you can just say, let's say you want to transform because you are using strongly agree and not sure. I just show you transform the data for Likert scale to, let's say, 5 strongly agree, 4 agree. This is you can do it in SPSS and all that. In fact, you cannot claim that you're using this. It's just that I'm just showing you. Not sure. 2 is disagree, and then 1 is strongly disagree. Okay, just a demo, just a quick demo. So your data just now, because you're using words, right? So ChatGPT is trying to recode it for you, all right? Actually, you don't have to use this. You can do it in SPSS or all the statistical software. Just that I just want to show you that you can do it. Right now, you can see. You have to check, by the way. Right, strongly agree. Then you have 5, 4, da, 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 da. Okay. Then do a table with mean and SD, standard deviation. So I'm not really accurate in my prompt. Yeah, I just want to show you that you can do something like this. It's just that the accuracy you still have to check because it's not really accurate now, because I did not specify the decimal point up to 2 decimal point maybe. Then you can get your your mean and standard deviation. But again, these are just simple analysis which you should not use it to analyze. And because in your paper or in your research, you cannot say that the researcher used ChatGPT to do the statistical analysis anyway, right? Might as well you use the proper, SPSS or Jamovi or all other tools that you can use to analyze. But at least you can compare. What I always encourage my students to do is you do your analysis in SPSS, for example, and then cross-check with ChatGPT's analysis. See whether it matches each other, all right? And if not, that means something wrong either side. So you have to cross-check, like, something could have been wrongly inputted or whatever. Okay, that would be one way. I think that's all, I guess. Visualization, of course, ChatGPT can do it as well. You can ask it to visualize. Right, you can ask it to visualize according to data type, like a bar chart or whatever. Like here, visualize the data for burnout in bar chart. Then you will analyze. All the prompts are in the slides. Yeah, later on you can use the slides. You can also use napkin. This is a bonus. I think all of you have used this, right? No?
Yes.
Yeah. You can use this one to also do visualization for your data. Napkin.ai. It's in the slide, so you don't have to worry if you cannot catch up, because I'm quite going a bit fast because we are running out of time. What you can do is like this. Let me just show you. Maybe I'll get a table somewhere from ChatGPT just now. Where's my ChatGPT? Is it this one? Too many screen on. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's say you have your. Sorry. I'm going to start blank. Let's say if you have your data, I'm going to go very simple. Not sure. Let's say 10%. Sure is 30%. Very sure. Let's say 30%, 60, 10. Wait, one more. Very not sure. 30, right? Okay. All right. Let's say you have your table, pretending. You just copy and paste your data in a table format, and then highlight this, and then click this thunder lightning icon. then it will generate the visualization for you. All right, depending on what table you want. Now it's still processing. Then you will get your bar chart or whatever here. Right. Then you can change color or whatever you want, or you can use other representation. I find this useful for if you need to do this for your slides, your viva, your proposal defense, or your posters, so that your posters will not be using the typical old school type of graph. So you have some ideas on how to put it in your, in your slides and everything. These are still free, by the way, it's still free. All right, so you can use different types of visualization. If you don't like pie, then you can use bar chart. Cross check whether it's accurate or not. So you can copy and paste your data. But these are more on the basic visualization, like descriptive data and all that. Inferential data like ANOVA and all those, you can't because you have to put the table format. This is more useful for visualizing your data or your results in terms of the descriptive one, right? That will be good for you to visualize. Bonus, you can explore this on your own. Julius AI. I will not cover this because it's now no longer free, but in case you would like to try, you can try. But it is actually ChatGPT. When you go in, you will see ChatGPT prompt because they use the same engine as well, the same LLM. Just to remind you again what I said earlier, a lot of tools out there, they still rely on OpenAI's LLM because whether you like it or not, it's still one of the best. All right. DeepSeek was trying to disrupt it by giving it cheaper, but the quality is quite bad in terms of the output. So in the end, people still jump back to OpenAI's LLM. All right. So that was one of the reason. So I'm done actually. Sorry for a bit fast towards the end because of the lack of time, but I will share my slides. If you still have further question, you can ask me maybe one or two questions before I say bye-bye. Yeah.
Yes,
Somebody-
Arafat?
Yes, hello, Doctor. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for this very informative presentation.
Yeah.
My question is, what's your experience regarding the memory of these tools? For example, what I noticed when using ChatGPT, to some extent, it keeps remembering some information in the past, but to maybe after 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe 1 month, it will forget some information. Although I have an account, I'm using I log in with an account, so I need your experience with these tools in terms of memory. And I have another question also. The other question is regarding the data. I noticed with ChatGPT, when I upload a very big amount of data, it will not analyze it very well.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there any limitations in this, and what is the solution? Is there any like tools that can solve these problems?
Yeah. Are you using the paid ChatGPT, paid one?
No, it's the free one.
Yeah, I think the free one at the moment, for data analysis, they still limit the token, we call it, the number of tokens that you can upload. So it's very limited. But if you pay for it, then you can upload as big as you want. Alternative to that will be Claude AI just now. You can go to Claude AI, this tool, this Claude, and upload your data set. So Claude AI can support larger tokens. The problem with all LLM is they have limitation in terms of the token. Token means the number of all these letter, blah blah blah, everything in total. So for free users, there's a limit. So you can only read up to a certain extent only, which is why I always tell my students there's no point for you to upload long TCs or whatever, because it will not read the whole thing. It will just read part by part anyway. So it's better for you to chunk it out. One way is to chunk, but then again, the analysis will not be complete. So for analysis, I still think maybe you can invest a bit. If you really want to use AI, then you can pay or try and use Cloud and see whether you get what you wanted, or go to Julius just now. Julius has a free trial, but it's no longer free now. Julius allows you to upload as huge as you want, but it function exactly like ChatGPT. All right, it's the same. You just have to chat, upload your file, and then you chat, and then it will help you. In terms of the memory, if I got your question right, you were asking whether you can retain the memory, right? You can keep the what you have asked, right? Is that correct, Arafat? Or
Yes. For example, if I want to be more personalized ChatGPT, so I can give it some information and we'll keep this information for a long time, like 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, like that. Yeah. This is what I mean.
Yeah. So if you have not done this, I'm not sure whether you have done this. If you click on your profile here, there's this thing called Customize GPT. Click on this. All right. And then you can personalize it here. You can, what should ChatGPT call you? You can say, what do you do? This is the part. What switch should you ChatGPT have? What do you want ChatGPT to do? Let's say I want ChatGPT to use only, let's say English, maybe UK spelling. All right. I want it to use these words. You can specify it here. Personalizing. Also, if you scroll down, you can also write more here about yourself or advance. All right. So enable all this. Sorry, not advanced. This part. Okay, correct. This one. Anything else ChatGPT should know about you? Just type it in. Like when writing, please use more connectors, such as you can give some example. Moreover, besides that, blah blah blah. Because ChatGPT has a tendency to use the word additionally, so you don't want it to use additionally all the time. So you list all the words that you want. So you try to customize this. I'm not sure whether you have done this. This is available for free user as well. So this is one way to personalize your whatever you want. You can type as many things as you want here, right? To make it more personalized. Also, for free user, ChatGPT actually clear your archive. I can't remember how long. I think 90 days. It will not keep it forever. They are very clever because they want you to pay, right? So they actually clear your your whatever you have done there from the memory. So yeah, that's another limitation to that. What you can do is if you want to check, I'm going to cancel this. What you can do is you can also go to setting and then go to this personalization part and check the memories, check manage memories. Mine is blank at the moment. If you see that a lot of your memories are no longer here, that means it's gone, it's deleted, right? So what you can do is this. I always use, let's say, British spelling. Add this to memory. Just add this prompt, add this to memory. Then ChatGPT will add it to the memory. All right. So see, got it. I'll stick to let me know. So if you go to your memory here, you will see prefer British spelling added there. So every time you ask ChatGPT, it will only use British spelling. It will not use the American spelling. Okay, you can try this, yeah, Arafat. Hopefully this will slow you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
No problem. Any more questions? We actually overshoot. No more.
Seems like there is another one question. Oh,
Okay, we'll take it as a last question then.
Yeah. Last one.
Yeah. Yes, Al-Zakri Akram.
Yes, both. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you about the information that gave to us. Regarding the use of AI tools like ChatGPT, I have heard that paid versions, example ChatGPT, often provide more powerful or accurate responses compared to free version. Is this true in your experience, please?
It's true. Obviously, because you pay. Okay, I can tell you the difference. Because you're using the pay one, you don't have this. If you are paying, you have this thing a little harder. Your free usage will be without the model. You can see like 4.5. Only the paid users will have it. So the free users will not have access to this. And based on my recent trial for 4.5, like I was sharing earlier, the writing is better now, way better than the for Omni. So I think, but they have promised, OpenAI has promised 4.5 and all these newer models will be available for free user as well, because they want to encourage everyone to use it. The only problem is when you use the free version, they limit the token, meaning you don't get to experience it, in total. So I think it's a business model because they want you to pay anyway. So I don't know. You can consider investing. The reason why I pay is also because I'm doing research on this to compare and contrast all the quality of LLM and all that. So I've been paying ever since. So you can ask Ayu lah, because it's good to see the progress of all these LLM. But if for student, one thing good about ChatGPT is they don't subscribe in a contract basis. You can do it monthly like Netflix. Once you are done, you can just unsubscribe. There's no contract like 1 year or whatever. So if you think that this month you will be using it a lot, let's say this month is the writing month, you really want to write a lot in this month, then you get subscribed for 1 month. After you get what you wanted, then you can just unsubscribe. You don't have to pay every single month. So that's a strategy that some students are using as well, are doing as well. If you really think, it's worth investing. All right. Okay. All right. I think I'm done. So pass back to Ayu and Prof. Let me just stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chuah, for highlighting to us a lot about AI. I think all of us got to know quite a lot of things on AI and how to find, how to do literature, how to search. I think the students also has gained a valuable lesson. Thank you again. We really appreciate your time and effort to share your knowledge with us.